I really want to say it at the same time.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
No. Welcome back to the International Brendan Fraser Film Festival of North Carolina. I almost said the International Brendan Fraser Scholarship Program.
So what if we made millions of dollars from this series and we could like set up a scholarship fund in his honor?
In his honor, who would it be for?
Aspiring actors.
Aspiring actors who want to follow in Brendan's footsteps.
Who doesn't want to follow in his footsteps?
I want to follow in his footsteps.
I do too. I want to be his footsteps.
Well, it's mostly because I just want to dance with him. I could stand on his feet
while he dances, and so you're like this.
Yeah.
All right. It's very strong.
So if
feet.
we're starting a scholarship fund, we need a tip jar.
Or they could just Venmo us.
They could just Venmo me. This is Dizzy.
This is Whitney, and we are the Bembridge Scholars.
We're glad to have you here.
Thrilled beyond words.
Especially because today's film it's very exciting to me.
It's exciting to me too. What's it called, Whitney?
It's called Encino Man, also known as
California Man.
I love that.
Well, I was talking to my friends from abroad and I was telling them about this project and all of them have said, one of my favorite Brendan Fraser films is California Man, and I'm thinking,
what film is that?
It's Encino Man.
They
must have gotten confused.
Right.
But then I looked it up and it is known as California Man.
Is there a cover of it that says California Man anywhere
I think so.
in the world? I feel like we just need to compare the two.
When I was first 16, when I was
first 16,
we got cable for the first time when I was 16 because we had just moved to the mountains. You had gone to college, so you weren't there for cable.
Yeah, I never grew up with cable.
For the first couple months, I was just watching every single thing that was on TV. I could not get enough. And Encino Man was on, and I had never seen it before. Obviously, I had seen The Mummy by that point. I recognized Brendan Fraser, but this was the first time I had ever seen Pauly Shore.
Oh.
And I was very taken with him.
So what you're saying is that really she's like, oh yeah, Brendan's the Mummy guy's in this, but Pauly Shore, like he was the one.
He was.
He really did it for you.
He took the cake.
Coming from a woman who also has a huge crush on Phil Collins.
I don't feel like that's a fair comparison.
Really?
Phil Collins is much better than Pauly Shore.
Really?
This is a well-known fact in my life.
Somebody's life.
This is my fact. I just thought Pauly Shore was so funny and adorable and just like really innocent, you know?
What about the Frodo guy?
Sean
What's his
Astin,
name
I think.
So how did you feel about him in this movie? Because
it was all about Pauly Shore for me. Now, seeing it again after all these years, I'm not sure if Pauly Shore will still have my heart. I'm not sure if he's grown with me. You know what I'm saying?
Can he stand the test of time?
I don't know.
I'm just watching this movie because I feel like, if I remember correctly, Brendan Fraser is wearing a loincloth. I need to experience that again. So, join us for 1992's Encino Man.
We finished Encino Man.
It was fantastic.
It was as good as I remember.
One thing that I really enjoyed was the very beginning, then a sphinx appears, or at the head of a King Tut or something. That's the logo for Hollywood Pictures, and I was just thinking, setting the stage for the Mummy.
The Mummy.
Like the movie starts, and I'm like, yes.
It all comes back to the Mummy. So it's about these. Okay. This should be a very easy
really
film to explain, and it's not.
Listen.
Yes.
Here's the deal. There are 5 characters.
5 characters.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sure.
Number 1 is Dave. Number 1 is Link,
played by
Brendan Fraser.
Number 2 is
Dave,
played by Sean Astin.
Number 3 is Stony,
Played by
Pauly Shore. Now 4 and 5 are the blonde and the brunette.
the girl from The Craft, and the blonde, we don't know who she is.
The story is Dave and Stony,
Best friends.
best friends
Digging a pool in Dave's
in
backyard.
Dave's yard.
Which, okay, this is a neighborhood
Yeah.
homeowners association, anyone?
Suburbia. All right, next order of business
An
is
earthquake dislodges
right.
this iced caveman.
He's basically in an iceberg.
He's
It's not an
he's
iceberg.
like
He's
in
like
an iced sarcophagus, which
Icicle.
the iced sarcophagus is another mummy connection.
Oh,
Solid
yes,
connection.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Very astute, Dizzy.
Well, I am a Bembridge scholar after all.
you are.
The iced sarcophagus becomes dislodged by an earthquake, and Dave and Stony find this frozen caveman, and they decide to take him to the shed. Just the two of them. They carry this massive ice chunk
I can't imagine
with
how
the
much
frozen body
that
in
would
it.
have weighed.
That would have been impossible. They thaw him out
With the help of some plug-in space heaters,
that were very dangerous.
at least like 3 of them.
that would have
There's-
caused many fires.
There's standing water on the floor. All right, so then Stony and
Dave
come
decide
home.
to, they come home and they decide to give him a makeover, and they take him to school because they think that they're going to become popular with this cool new guy. I really loved Pauly Shore's outfits. I loved all the outfits. There were definitely a couple where I thought to myself, oh, I would wear that.
I would like the hot pink mesh thing.
Yes,
I was like,
I loved that.
Marie France, who did the costumes. I feel like she just went in your wardrobe and like pulled some stuff.
I have a lot of those pieces already.
You do, and you like menswear.
I love menswear.
So at one point, Stony is wearing this button-up shirt with like
it's
faces.
like a collage of faces.
Faces all over it. This child right here, growing up, had this vest, and it had these faces all over it. She wore it for, I think, not 1 but 2 school pictures.
I loved it.
It was like the talk of the school. I remember this vest very clearly and thinking like, that is like really a fashion statement.
It was.
But okay, like whatever. And for me, it was more about like the jeans. I was identifying with the jeans, and then all of Pauly Shore's hair bandanas.
He is the voice of reason. He is wise, very
He also seems
responsible.
in some ways sort of oddly self-aware, or there's this
Very
inner
self-aware,
confidence
yes.
because I think Dave is talking about how like, oh my God, Link can help make us popular.
I already am
Right.
popular, or I'm happy being me, or
Like, I'm
something
just
like
happy
that.
His actions and what he says are actually like,
He seems
Pretty
like
great.
a pretty honorable guy.
yeah.
And he would never, ever treat a young lady the way that Dave treated the girl that he had a crush on. Let me just say, Dave was a bit of a creep.
He was totally a creep.
He was a creep, and he was awful.
So the girl that he likes, the blonde, obviously, he gives her this photograph of the 2 of them in a bathtub when they're little.
You know, he's like, hey, remember when we were naked together?
Did he say that?
Yes, he did. No,
he's in jail.
He's in jail, and this is what he actually says. He says, this is my one phone call, and I want to ask you to prom, so please don't say no. And I'm like, first of all,
Don't guilt trip me into
that
asking.
is
like,
a
going to the prom with
total creepo guilt trip move. And I was very proud of her for just matter of factly being like, no, I want to go with Link. I was like, good for you.
That was good.
And then when they finally kiss at the end, he's like, hey, I want to show you something really cool. And then he kisses her.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, oh,
like, seriously?
go away, Dave. Nobody wants you here.
We talked about a couple of issues about the reality of this whole situation,
Yes.
including just 2 boys digging a pool. And
They show the digging, and then at the very end, the pool has water in it, but it's like dirt water.
I don't think that they actually made they made a hole.
Yeah.
And they put water in it. There's no tile.
And you know, there's no filtration system in that pool.
No, I
The
think
mosquitoes are going to be out of control.
it's just like standing water.
Yeah, they're going to get very sick.
Second is that here is this caveman, and he's like out in the cave doing his thing with his lady.
He's providing for her. That was hot.
I know.
He was making a fire for
but he's got the
her.
hair and everything. He's like almost clean shaven.
Oh, right, he was.
And I'm thinking, what is going on here?
That's a really good point. And
does he have a little animal that just like nibbles it off? Back to the costumer, who is
Marie France.
Marie France. I was thinking Nancy.
Nancy.
Marie France. I just have to say, did an impeccable job with the initial loincloth costume. And Brendan is really like, he is ambling about.
Oh my God, Whitney.
I'm just waiting for you to say it.
The famous scene where Stoney and Link are in the Quickie Mart or whatever it's called, and
he's teaching Link how to wheeze the juice.
One of the guys working behind the counter was in the Mummy.
And she got so excited. Like, I think your hands
My hands went up. I was like, it's the Mummy guy!
I think you're like, the Mummy guy!
I was.
Write this down.
I wrote it down.
Go take a note.
I wrote it down. I wrote in all caps, the Mummy guy. In the Mummy, he plays Edie's boss at the museum.
Eric Avari.
And what was his name in Encino Man?
Dr. Terrence Bay.
No. Were you looking
That's his name in the Mummy. Dr. Terrence Bay.
Raji. All right, emotional depth is the very first category that we are working with here. And Whitney, what do you think?
So I know he didn't do a lot of talking, but
No.
he did express a lot of emotions.
He did. He showed a lot of emotions, not only in his facial expressions, but in his body. And let's not forget the scene in the museum where he's having a bit of a breakdown. And he's crying, and there were tears. I don't know if those were his or this marker is terrible. Can you even see that? I don't know.
Okay,
and count
is
0, ma'ams.
So, comedic performance. I thought he did a pretty good job.
He did,
I thought it
but
was pretty
there
good.
was more comedy radiating from Paulyshore.
Ooh. He does really fun and funny dancing. Let's get down to it. Yeah, there was enough funny stuff in there for me. Great.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement. Let's give him a 3 for comedic performance.
Best actor in a dramatic role.
I was thinking as I was... I was thinking as I was watching that I think a lot of other actors would have really overplayed his part.
So, yeah.
He's very subtle in his expressions, and I thought he did a really good job.
But, like, the likelihood of him being nominated for Best Actor in a Dramatic Role... Well, this wasn't a dramatic role.
This wasn't a dramatic role.
But
I thought I was impressed by his acting ability.
I was too. Yeah.
2 it is.
Physical prowess and stunts.
Now here's where I feel like
he's gonna shine.
Could give him some points. He was climbing a wall, scaling a wall at school. He was
running around the neighborhood.
He can catch flies. He could drive sideways.
That is a talent that
oh my gosh,
many of us do not possess.
He does the backflip. Did you already say that? Like off the balcony.
Now we don't know if he actually did the backflip.
He probably did.
But he landed, and it looked like he had to jump from a pretty high height. So that's,
at least
I mean, I would ruin my knees.
4 or 5 feet.
You know, this was so far his most physical role. 4?
I mean, I could go either way.
Like,
I just want him to have points for this, so we'll do 5.
Let's do 5. I feel like 5's very fair.
Okay. Now hair.
I liked the hair the most out of all of the films that we've seen.
Me too.
Well, out of
except
the
for
3 that we've seen. The 2 that
except
we've
for
seen.
his Davy Crockett hair helmet that he goes to the prom with. That's like the worst.
He looked like Davy Crockett.
He looked, but
why would
not,
they do that?
But it's like, he looks like he's wearing a helmet.
He looks like he's wearing a hat made of hair.
I feel like, who am I to judge? Have we seen my hair? I feel like I need to just add a disclaimer. The last haircut I got was an asymmetrical haircut because I thought that would be a great idea. I love the woman who does my hair, but now I've moved away from that area.
And that haircut was like pre-COVID hitting,
Basically.
right?
And now that it's growing out, it just looks so stupid.
I would rather Brendan Fraser have had your hair for prom. You know who did his hair? Dave.
Because before, didn't Stoney do his hair? He gave him a haircut.
Stoney is responsible for his great hair.
And then
Dave is responsible for the Davy Crockett
It's
hair.
like, I'm just gonna get some hairspray and cheese it up
Yeah.
real good here.
Okay, this is all coming to me now.
Okay, again. This is like, please don't poke out my eyes.
Link took Dave's crush to the prom.
Ooh, is this revenge?
This is revenge. My theory is that Dave sabotaged Link's
I love it.
hair.
She loves a good conspiracy theory. I think you're so right, though.
I'm completely right, Whitney.
Can you imagine Dave doing his hair like that?
Dave never would have left the house looking like that. And I know this.
For a fact.
For a fact.
Because
Are
you and Dave tight?
I am Dave.
I knew it. With that all being said, I hated his hair for the prom. But for the rest of the time, I really liked it.
But I have to dock at least 1 point because of the prom hair.
The prom hair was terrible. It's really good though, and it's really unusual. The bulk of the movie, it's like,
Okay,
I feel like it's pretty good.
let's do 4 for hair.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Whitney. Thank you for your mind.
You are welcome. I appreciate you thinking of my mind. I'm appreciative of it.
I'm delirious at this point.
Hidden talents. All right, we got dancing, we got fly catching, basically
Climbing.
all the stunts that we named.
Moving in the loincloth. And so many different kinds of dancing.
I wonder if he's taken dance lessons.
He moves like a natural dancer.
For me, it was like the climbing and the dancing. I thought were great.
Trying to start a fire like this.
Yes.
That is a talent. Now,
That's
he
talent.
didn't actually start the fire.
Well, there was smoke. He got cut off by Dave.
Oh, good Dave, man.
Oh my God, 4.
4.
Let's do it.
And then swoons. I counted 4 swoons.
And will you name them, please?
Rose McGowan, the girl with Rose McGowan, the girl from The Craft, and what was the other one?
I feel like there was a girl in the bar or something.
Yes.
Okay.
So 4
swoons, great.
swoons recorded. Temperature.
Temp. You can do it. You can do it. It's the I mean, come on. If he's dancing, I'm just automatically. I feel like I just need to stop saying this because I'm just all about it.
I mean, basically anything that he dances in, Whitney's just going to go on and on and on about it.
Yeah, and also you should consider this, Dizzy,
What?
Dave. When he's dancing, he has that crazy helmet hair, but I'm still like, cool.
It is dark in there, though.
It's dark in there.
So you
It
can't
looks like
see
a
it.
hat.
It looks it's the Davy Crockett hat. Considering all the dancing scenes and his loin, okay,
The loincloth. The way
the
he
loincloth
moves,
cannot
come on.
be overlooked, and I might have overlooked it in
because of the helmet hair.
because the helmet hair really docks a lot of points.
You have to like turn a blind eye to that, I think.
Let's do 4 for temperature.
I like it. Great.
And for the notes,
So the brunette, she had my favorite line of the film, which is she's talking about Link, like they just met him or recently met him at school, and she thinks he's really cool, and she says, "I think he's jive."
this whole movie could be described as jive.
Yeah,
Really.
minus
Dave.
What if he watches this?
Sean, it's not about you.
It's the character.
It's the character.
Which you played really well. Because we really are annoyed with your character.
Yeah, we love you. We just really hate Dave.
So Sean, thumbs up.
Great job.
Score it up.
Score this baby up. We've got 30 for the final score. Good job.
Good job.
The lesson that I took from this film is that Paulyshore still has my heart. More than the phrase.
In this movie, I have to also admit, I really like Pauly in this movie.
It feels like this movie was made for him.
It totally does.
But we really enjoyed it, and
It's a siren.
Oh, thank you.
They're coming for you, Dave. Your stalker status has caught up with you.
Join us next time, where we will be watching Child of Darkness, Child of Light,
A made-for-TV movie.
available on YouTube. Probably not legally, but just search for it.
Just don't tell anybody.
Just don't say a word. I think it's from 1991, and we should have done it before Encino Man, but here we are.
Here we are.
We're just working out the kinks early on, you know?
Yeah.
Give us like 5 videos to really figure out what we're doing, and then it's just gonna be smooth sailing from here on out.
Totally.
Each Friday, we will be releasing a new video, and so we hope that you will subscribe and tune in, watch the movie beforehand, and then join us for the discussion and share your ratings with us as well.
We'll see you next time. Keep it scholarly. They're just ooze. No, wait, lose the. How does he say it?
I noticed that Link might have a bit of a foot fetish.
It's really hot in here.
Okay.
Put him this way. Put him this way. Can't help it. I've always been like this. This conversation is like. If it isn't the toilet, it's the police.
Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier.